President Biden has announced that he is increasing the number of refugees allowed to come to the U.S., despite the surging number of migrants currently crossing the southern border illegally. Let's check in with national correspondent Logan Raddick for the very latest. Logan?
Bob, Heather, another backtrack from the Biden administration. The president is resurrecting a plan that would more than quadruple the amount of refugees let into the U.S. this year. Just 2 weeks after the White House announced it would keep the refugee cap at 15,000, a level set by Donald Trump, President Biden says he will raise that limit to 62,500. The president says this move, quote, erases the historically low number set by the previous administration of 15,000, which did not reflect America's values as a nation that welcomes and supports refugees, adding that it will, quote, remove any lingering doubt in the minds of refugees around the world. And one White House official is on record saying the president is raising the cap regardless of capacity limits to, quote, send a very clear message that refugee processing is a critical part of America's place in the world. The refugee program is different from the asylum system, with refugees undergoing vetting while still overseas before being cleared for entry into the U.S. But Democrats are also pressing forward when it comes to migration. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is actively exploring whether it would be possible to attach a broad revision of immigration laws to President Biden's infrastructure plan and pass it along party lines through reconciliation. And some congressional Republicans tell me these moves would be detrimental considering the issues we're facing here on the home front, including homelessness, unemployment, and, of course, the pandemic. Bob, Heather, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Logan. And joining us now to weigh in on this is Republican Congresswoman from Florida, Kat Cammack. Congresswoman Cammack, thank you so much for joining us. So let's start with that. Let's start with the increase in the cap on the number of refugees being allowed to come into this country, quadrupling that number.
It really is unconscionable when we're dealing with an epic immigration, border, national security crisis that we've never seen before. And then we send this message, quadrupling the number. And if you look back at President Trump's MPP policy, the Migrant Protection Protocol, when we had that in place, we were able to have folks come up to the checkpoints, register, and then they would return to their home country. Of that group of people that had come in, only 10% have returned for their interviews under an asylum case. Of that, only 10% have been approved. So I think when it comes down to it, we really need to take a look at what is asylum and what kind of message does the president send when he increases the cap, quadruples it, when we're already facing an unsustainable level of immigration coming into our country. We have unemployment. I know from my district, whether it is construction, whether it is agriculture, whether it is hospitality, whether it is veterans who are waiting for benefits, we have people here at home that need our help. We have industries that are dying. And I think it is a very, very poor message for this administration to send out to the world that we care more for those abroad than we do for those here at home. It's time to put Americans and America first.
Well, what I'm wondering, Congresswoman, is whether he's going to pick a number that is so high that the crisis essentially doesn't exist because everybody's being let in.
I think that really is what they're after, is they're trying to streamline this processing capability that is happening here at the southwest border, essentially completing the smuggling and trafficking cycle that is being instrumented by the cartels. The cartels are hoping that we are going to increase the caps. The cartels are hoping that we're going to move people through these processing facilities quicker. They're hoping that we're going to do all these things so that they make more money. It's a great day in America if you are a member of the cartels. But who loses in this deal? American citizens. We can't even get our schools open, yet they want to open up our borders. This is a disaster by executive order. We need to have pressure on this administration that, no, we will not be raising the caps arbitrarily. We will not be inflating numbers and making adjustments so it seems like this crisis really isn't a crisis. We're going to be taking care of those here at home first, because that is the #1 charge of the federal government. And it's time that we get back to that.
Yeah. Congresswoman Cammack, I want to turn our attention now just to shift gears. Speaking of here at home, to police and law enforcement for a moment. Our correspondent Mike Carter spoke with former NYPD NYPD officer Bill Pepitone about the rise of crime in New York, really across this country, that it's happening. He had this to say.
Police officers don't know what they can do. Right now, they can't effect the arrest of a non-compliant subject without fear of losing their job or even being indicted.
Pepitone worries that as New York begins to reopen this summer, criminals will take advantage of a hampered police force.
We're going to go into a summer right now where the criminals smell blood in the water and they're going to react.
You know, Congresswoman, it seems like that criminals are already reacting, and that's some of what's happening across this country, along with just the way that our law enforcement is being treated out on the streets.
I mean, just hearing that, it's hard to listen to that because, of course, as you guys know, this is very personal to me. My husband being a first responder, a SWAT medic. I was speaking with one of my local sheriffs just the other day, and she told me that just in the last 3 years, they have lost over 100 officers. This is a mid-sized department in the suburbs of Jacksonville. They cannot keep any of their officers. They have a 98% turnover in dispatchers. You saw the officer that was suspended without pay for when he called LeBron to say, listen, you know, I just responded to a domestic violence case and the husband was beating up his wife. I figure since you know so much about policing and law enforcement, I would call you for guidance. He was suspended. I know so many officers and their families that are having tough decisions and discussions right now at the kitchen table saying, you aren't able to go out there and safely do your job and protect our community because your hands are tied. They're taking life-saving equipment off your back. They're making you second guess your decisions when you have 1 second or more or less to make that life decision. And so really, do we want our loved one to continue to don the badge when there's no support? We have leaders like Maxine Waters out there saying, you need to get confrontational. You need to get in their face. You need to make them know that we mean business. This is what our LEOs are up against. And it's just a travesty that this is where we are at. If you want strong communities, if you want safe communities, you fully fund the police. You have their six. And that's the message that we in the Republican Party are sending. We're one team, we're one mission. We have the six of our law enforcement officers. We will not back down from this fight. This is something that is going to be a driving issue all the way into the midterms and beyond. I'll be damned if I see another officer put in harm's way because of the left's dangerous rhetoric of confronting officers and taking life-saving equipment off their back.
All right. Well, Congresswoman Kat Cammack, we know that we can count on you, and we always appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Have a good one, Bob.
Great.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.